Welcome back, everyone, to Body for Christ, the fitness channel that teaches the body of Christ how to forge this physical body, this physical temple, into a body for Christ that will be of good use and good service for Christ. And the day has come, the day that so many people dread, so many people fret over, so many people are worried about, the day known as Leg Day. Bum, 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 Leg Day is here, and oh my gosh, Leg Day. The reason why so many people worry about Leg Day and dread Leg Day is because Leg Day is difficult. It is challenging. It is very, very hard, and pain is what you will feel. Suffering is what you will go through. And a lot of people are like, you know what? I'm thinking I'm just going to skip Leg Day. Okay, don't do that. Don't skip Leg Day. And me, as your friend, I'm here to make sure that you do not skip Leg Day. Just like you have the saying that friends don't let friends drive drunk. Okay, friends don't let friends skip Leg Day. If you want to forge a body that is strong, a body that is healthy, a body that is powerful, you cannot skip Leg Day. And yes, it is hard, it is challenging. You're going to experience that pain, you're going to go through that suffering, if you will. But you know what? A true disciple of the Master doesn't fear these things, doesn't turn away from pain, doesn't turn away from suffering. Knows. A true disciple of Jesus knows that in this world you're going to have pain, you're going to have suffering. So you embrace the pain, you embrace the suffering, you embrace that which is hard, that which is challenging. And here at the gym, it's not just about forging a strong body, it's also about forging a strong mind. It's also about challenging yourself and pushing yourself to hone your character, a character that isn't afraid of pain, that isn't afraid of that which is challenging. And if you can forge that character here in this gym, then you can actually have that same character out there in the real world. Being here in the gym, it's not just about the body, it's about the mind, and it's also about the spirit. And so here with Leg Day, squatting, you cannot avoid this beautiful squat rack where you're going to be putting weight on the ends of this bar and you're going to be going up and down with it, and you're going to embrace the pain. But I want to show you how you can do it in such a way that you get the most out of it. First, make sure that you've properly warmed up and you've stretched. So let me show you that. Now, if you want the full stretching routine, I'd highly recommend you watch my previous video, all about stretching and warming up. But you just take a staff like this, warm up those shoulders, warm up those shoulders, bring it all the way back, full stretch back, full stretch back. I take it to the side, because I warm up the obliques, I warm up my core, I stretch it back to warm up my abdomen, bring it forward, warm up my lower back. Oh, and you better believe that on Leg Day, you're going to be needing your lower back. You need your lower back to be flexible, you need your lower back to be warmed up. Yeah, you do not want to risk injuring your lower back. Also, to warm up the knees, stretching routine that I do for that, just got to find something to brace myself on, to balance myself, come down on the balls of my feet, go forward. My knees well over my toes. Bring it back. You'll feel a nice deep stretch in your knees. You'll feel a stretch in your quads. Warm those knees up. And those are stretching routines that I do between virtually every set. I'll squat and then I'll do those stretches just to keep myself warmed up no matter what set I'm on. Now for the actual squats. And now for the first squats that I'd like to show you, don't laugh, but this is what they're called. They're called ass to grass squats. Something that you can do on the lighter weight squatting. I personally do these kinds of squats when I'm going for the 135-pound range up to the 225-pound range. Going beyond that to the 315 or 405 range, I cannot do ass to grass squatting. And the whole idea is that you take your ass, your butt, and you get it down to the grass. You get it down as close to the ground as possible. And that's what we're going to do right now. But I also want to show you this right here. A lot of people that are the fitness experts, you know, they would laugh at me for using something like this on a squat rack. But you know what? I say to them, or I say to just about anybody, that when you can squat more than I can, then you can laugh at me all you want. I don't really care. But being a 41-year-old man, I use one of these on the bar just to relieve some of that pressure on the traps, on the shoulders, on the upper back. Because having a steel bar just dig into, you know, my traps and my shoulders, it's not all that pleasant. So simply use one of these things in order to alleviate some of that pressure. Put it on the bar just like this. And now for the ass to grass. And you just bring it back. Get your stance to, I prefer a stance that's just a little bit wider than shoulder width. Now, you bring it down and try to get that butt as close to the ground as you can. Now, try, in fact, this is incredibly important, keep your lower back straight as possible while you're doing this. Now, when you get close to the ground, that becomes increasingly difficult. You'll notice that as I get really close to the ground, my lower back starts to round out a little bit. Sometimes that's unavoidable, but you really try to keep your lower back as straight as possible as you're doing this. And you just get that butt as close to the ground as you can go. Very, very beneficial for the health of your knees and the strength of your knees. Bring it down as close as you can. Now, another principle that I was taught many years ago is that if you want to get good activation in your glutes, as in your butt, when you come up, squeeze your butt together. And yes, it's funny, but the way that I was taught it is that pretend or imagine that you have a $100 bill wedged back there, and you want to squeeze. You want to hang on to that $100 bill. You don't want to lose it. So there's some imagery for you. But you bring it down, get nice and low, then you bring it up and squeeze your butt together. That activates the glutes. Oh. Squeeze. You want to hang on to that $100 bill. You don't want to lose it. And squeeze. There, we got some ass to grass squatting right there. Once again, that's only a type of squatting as that I'll certainly attempt at the lower weights. This right here, 135 pounds. I'll do that same type of squatting up to about 225. I won't go beyond that. Beyond that, I'll do just normal down to parallel squatting, where your legs, your knees are at a 90-degree angle, and come up for that. So, time to throw some more weight on this bar and continue. So exact same principle here. Between my sets, I do my warm-ups, I do my stretching, and then I'm ready to hit a higher weight. 225, I'll still be doing the ass to grass style of squatting. And you just push yourself. That's what you want to do. Now, you don't want to do that just on leg day. You want to do that on every day, no matter what it is that you're working. Get used to pain. Get used to embracing the hurt. Because, as the old saying goes, no pain, no gain. It's really quite true. If you're looking for the easy way out, if you're looking for the easy life, well, I can tell you this. The Christian life is not the life that you're looking for. The Christian life, by design, is the challenging, difficult life. The path of discipleship is the challenging, difficult life. Our Lord Jesus, he took up his cross willingly, and he marched to Golgotha. And what an image here, right? That Jesus, carrying the crossbeam on his shoulders, he walked to Golgotha, and then with some help along the way by Simon. That's this, okay? Physically speaking, that's the image that we're looking at here, a heavy weight that's on our shoulders, and Jesus told each and every one of us, take up your cross and follow me. All right, and a lot of Christians, they're just like, yeah, that's spiritual, you got to live this, righteous life and all that, and it's like, of course that's what it is. Spiritually speaking, metaphorically speaking, yes, but Jesus also did it literally, didn't he? Jesus did it physically. You got to have a strong physical body. You have to have a strong physical body if you expect to be a good servant of the Master. Spirit, mind, and body is what we are. All three need to be in health. All three need to be strong. And so, get used to the pain. Get under your cross. Get under this bar and lift that cross. Lift that weight. Get it on your shoulders. And then you go up and down, up and down. Bring it down, nice and deep. All the way up. Squeeze. Hang on to that $100 bill. Down. And up. Squeeze. And up. And up. You just embrace it. You know it's gonna hurt. You know it's gonna be hard. You do it anyway. Let's put some more weight on this bar. Once again, between sets, I'm stretching. Between sets, I'm keeping my legs nice and warmed up. I'm keeping my back nice and warmed up. I go in for that deep stretch. Knees, quads, hamstrings, your glutes. Keep it all nice and warmed up as you're doing leg day. And another thing about people that skip leg day, never do it. Never do it. They focus on their upper body. They'll focus on their chest, their back, their shoulders, their arms, biceps, triceps, all of that. Okay. However, the largest muscle groups of the body are your lower body, below the waist, your quads, your hamstrings, and then particularly your glutes, your butt muscles, largest muscles in the body. And if you actually want to build the strongest and most balanced upper body, you also have to have those strong legs, the strong lower body. Because particularly for men, the larger your muscle groups are, like your legs, for instance, and your butt, then the more testosterone your body will naturally produce. The more testosterone your body naturally produces, the larger you're going to be able to build your upper body as well. You never, ever skip leg day. And now, with this weight, I don't do the ass to grass anymore, okay? Now I'm just gonna be doing down to parallel squatting. And if you're saying, it's like, Jake, but I can't even do, the lesser weights, perhaps, you're a sister in Christ and you can't do the, 135. Start at whatever weight you can. And if that's just throwing 10 pounds on each side or throwing the 25-pound weights on each side, start there. No matter what level you're at, start. That's the most important thing. Just make sure you start. And then from that starting position, you're progressing, you're moving forward. You're incrementally adding weight over the days, weeks, months, and yes, even years of training. Do you think that I could be squatting, 315 pounds on day one? Like, not even close. I started too. We all have to start somewhere. This is after many years of training. But for the parallel squatting, all you're looking to do, once again, I like the slightly wider than shoulder width for my legs. Some people, they like a more narrow, like shoulder width stance. That's okay. You can even do really short, like really close together, if you want to do primarily targeting what are called the teardrops right here of the quads. These are the teardrops. However you do it, do what is most comfortable for you, particularly at the heavier weights. Me, I like to have a slightly wider than shoulder width stance. I come under the bar. Keep your lower back straight. Come in. Parallel. Up. Embrace it. Embrace the pain. Embrace the pain. Just have that image in your head of picking up your cross and following Christ. Let's add some more weight. And now we're getting up to the very serious kind of weight. Very, very serious kind of weight. What I have here on the bar now is 405 pounds, which, unless you're an absolute freak of nature, 405 pounds does take years of training to actually reach. And certainly somebody my height and my build, my size, very, very challenging. In fact, 405 on the squat for a full parallel squat, you're looking at, I believe the ratio is only about 3 in 25,000 people can do it. 3 in 25,000. That's what we're talking about. Now, if you're a much bigger guy and you're, 6'3" and, 350 pounds, okay. Well, then you'll be able to squat this, much sooner. But for a 5'7" guy who's 195 pounds, yeah, this is more than double my body weight. Very, very challenging, and it is in fact a weight that I've been training for over a great period of time, and getting down to full parallel is something that for this weight, honestly not even quite sure if I can do it. Not down to full parallel. I'm going to give it my best shot today, but we're going to see what happens. Now, when you're dealing with weight that you're not sure if you're going to be able to do a full squat with, that you just may fail on, extreme heavyweight, make sure you're using the safety bars. You have to use the safety bars for something like this. So, come in, grab your safety bar, and bring it up to a level where when you come down for the full squat, this would be a full deep squat right here. If I were to fail, I would want to be able to have the bar land on the safety rack. And to be perfectly honest, I can even put it up one more. So it's at that level there. Grab this side, put it at the same level. And now, legs slightly shoulder width apart, a little further than shoulder width. I come down and I'm having the image of the bar. And if I were to go down to full parallel, and if I were to fail, then the bar can fall, right here. And, I don't kill myself, because, not even joking, that is something that can and does happen. If you're not being smart about this kind of stuff, you can literally kill yourself. In fact, I heard a story. This was a very gruesome story. I think this happened either a couple years ago or maybe several years ago. There was a young man, a power lifter, if I remember correctly, who got under some very heavy weight on the squat rack. I think it might have been 405 or possibly a little heavier. And he thought he could do it, right? He thought he could do it. He didn't use the safety bars, went down, couldn't lift it, failed going forward, and the bar landed square on his neck, and it literally decapitated him. Now, when I say decapitated, it's like his head wasn't rolling on the gym floor or something like that. The skin was all still there, the muscles and sinews were all still there, but his spinal cord and the vertebrae of his neck fully severed. So literally decapitated him. And yeah, he died. I don't want to scare you with a story like that. I'm simply sharing a story like that to tell you the very real danger of doing this kind of weight if you're not doing it safely. And so just use the safety bars. Use the safety bars, use proper form, and you're going to be just fine. So here we are with the 405-pound attempt. Can I do this physically? Honestly, I don't even know, going down to a full parallel squat. And if I can't do it physically, once again, that's where you have the safety bars. But you also need to know that weightlifting, heavy weightlifting, is as much of a mental game as it is a physical game. You can never be afraid of the weight. Don't be afraid of it, because if you go into this war, if you go into this battle with fear, you're going to lose every single time. And that's how it is in every area of life. You think that the Torah and the Holy Bible, with its historical accounts of the battles they faced and the wars they waged, and all of the passages about do not fear your enemy, but go into it with faith, trusting God, you think that those things only apply to the ancients and they don't apply to us today? Of course they apply to us today. They apply in every area of life. Every single area of life. You can never be afraid of your enemy. You go into it with faith and not fear. This is just as much mental as it is physical. You go into it with that mental fortitude, that mental strength that you're going to lift the weight. And even if you do fail, if you fail physically and you're not able to lift it, do it safely, of course, but know that as long as you keep at it, the day will come when you will be able to lift it. So here we go. 405 pounds. Oh! Woo! I'll have to check the video to see if that first rep was down to a full parallel. But whether it is or whether it wasn't, you know, I'll just keep at it, keep working towards it. And this next thing I'm going to show you, the box squat, is how you can train your body for those weights that you cannot yet do with a full deep parallel squat. So, I'll show you that next. Now, having reviewed the footage of the previous attempt, the 405, that first rep, I got dang close to getting to full parallel. I did not go as deep as I would have liked, but still, nevertheless, that was a very, very close attempt at a full parallel squat with 405, which makes me incredibly happy because you know what it's like? That's progress. I'm building up towards it. I'm gaining that strength. And so, even at 41 years old, I'm looking at many, many more years of progress. In fact, I know that there's at least one power lifter that I know of who is in his late 60s, I want to say, late 60s, and he's squatting, 500 pounds because he's been doing it for decades of time. He's been training his body over decades of time. And there he is, in his late 60s, I believe, and, he's squatting, more than I currently can. And so I'm just looking at this weight and I'm going, the day will come when I'm not just, hitting 405 for one rep at a full parallel squat, but I'm repping it out. I'm doing multiple reps. That day is going to come. And then far beyond that, I want to get to 500 pounds where I can rep 500 pounds. And one of the best ways that you can train your body to lift those heavier weights is by using the box, doing box squatting. Using a, quote, box like this, not really a box, this is, more just a stool, but they are nevertheless called box squats. Using a box, you can come in and just have your butt really just kiss that box and come up. And what that does is it just tells your body, just go down to that level and then come up. Go down to that level and then come up. And by using the box, I can do this exact same weight of 405, not just for one rep, but I can do it for many reps. With the box, it really is one of the best tools in your arsenal to train your body to build for those heavier weights so that you can reach that day when you will be able to squat something like this in a full deep parallel squat. So here we go. Get to the sides of the box, find your position, look up, keep your back straight, come down. Kiss the box. Come up, down, and up, down, and up, down, and up, down, and up. Obviously a huge difference. Just that little, inch and a half at those lowest levels. Having something like this just to give you a place to stop before going into those lowest levels makes all the difference. Let's add more, because if I'm gonna get to the point where I can into a full deep parallel squat, if I'm gonna get to the point where I can rep out 405, I've got to train my body using the box for much heavier weights than that. So let's add some more. So here we are now at 500 pounds, and this is 500 even because you have on each side of the bar 5 45 plates plus the weight of the bar itself, which is also 45 pounds, equaling a total of 11 times 45. That gets to 495 pounds. And then I've thrown these little tiny 2.5 pounders on the very ends to bring it up to an even 500 pounds. Now, obviously, I'm not yet at the physical ability to squat, full deep squat, 500 pounds. I will get there. As God is with me to strengthen me and empower me by God's grace and by my diligent efforts to continue working and building and progressing, I know I'm going to get there, where I will be able to squat 500 pounds. And you can get there too. You absolutely can get there. Utilize these principles that I've been sharing with you and teaching you, and work. Put in the effort, put in the time, put in the dedication. Make this your lifestyle, and the day will come when you'll be able to do this type of weight as well, or heavier. Like if you're built bigger than I am, I tell you, if you're a 6-foot guy, 6'2", 6'3" guy, if you're putting in the time, the effort, the energy, if you're eating right and you're working your butt off, well then you got beast mode, potential. You got true monster potential in you. You'll be able to lift weights that I'll never be able to lift. But even somebody like myself, a short king like myself, you will be able to reach this kind of weight with the work and the dedication. But that's, once again, the box. Bring the box squatting in to train your body for these heavier weights. And you know what? Today, that's all I got in me. Today, that's all I got in me. There are going to be days when I'd be able to, box squat this kind of weight for 2, 3, even 4 reps. Today, it looks like it was just the one, and that's okay. You don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. You keep working, and by your faith and by your work, you will see progress. Just always remember, faith without works is meaningless. It's dead. And of course, James chapter 2, he's talking about those things of the Spirit. He's talking about the charity, the love, the service that we are to show to our fellow man, obviously. But that same principle, it really does apply to any and every area of life. It applies just as much in here as it does out there. Jake Hilton with Body for Christ. If this has been a great blessing to you, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, share this channel, share it with your family and friends, and work. Put in the faith and put in the work to forge that physical body that is fearfully and wonderfully made.